Welcome back to EPG program in Japanese, paper 5, communication through translation. Hoya Kutsuji no communication, module 31, translating a literary text. Hana, Bungaku Sakuhin no Hoyaku, Hana. Let me give, this is Ashok Chawla, the paper coordinator. The paper is developed together with the content writer Anukumari. And would like to say that we had planned originally only 30 modules, but Anu insisted that she would like to do one module on literature and would like to experiment at whether the techniques can be done on literary text also. So we added this module, and since we have added one module, so let's do a few more modules on another area that is joint statement between the two countries, that is bilateral relationship. So in this module, we'll do the translate, the application of the different techniques on literary text. This module covers the application of translation techniques on literary text, and the story picked up here is Hana. Some, although not many comments will be made because the time is very limited to speak so much in this module, but the only thing is you probably notice that the significance of the mother tongue. This you will notice while we go through this module, and in this particular case, it's the Hindi as the mother tongue. This is the recapitulation of the previous module. So in one example, the frame could be captured easily, therefore only 5W1H was applied while keeping the frame in mind. In fact, with little more efforts, content can be recreated with better readability. In complicated cases, frame plus 5W1H may serve better, so combine the different techniques in a prudent manner. Breaking longer sentences into segments, smaller segments also helps. The principle remains that you need to pick up easier segments first, go further if more segments are understood. Now these segments could form microframes. Lighter matter definitely helps. In running text, implicit use is also very common. Some examples seen in this module, that means the previous module, are as follows: Shioryo, translated as royalty. Otherwise, if you look for the dictionary meaning, Shioryo will not give the meaning of royalty, or actually should not give this equivalent, but this is coming from context. Gijitsujo no Yakumu is coming as technical services. Yakumu is not literally speaking services, but Yakumu is duty. So the services you provide as technical, the technical services that you provide or duties that you serve is technical services. Then Togai Ippo was translated as A. So Togai Ippo no Teyakoku would be A contracting country. Then Ippo no Teyakoku in Sono Shiharai Shaga Ippo no and no Baiva, and this gets translated as that contracting state, wherein that also is implicit. Sonoshiharaisha getting translated as the taxpayer, which is text is added here from the context. Nioite shojita monoto sareru is shall be deemed to arise in. This is the literal translation of this, so it can be taken as core unit. Then Togai Tankyuteki Shitsu Matawa Kote Shitsu ni Suite Shoji, that means it arises with regard to or in connection with PE and the fixed entity. And here it is in connection with which the liability to pay the royalties or fees for technical services was incurred. It's a totally different translation, but this is what was available in the published translation. It's coming from the context, therefore, and it means what was written in Japanese. Therefore, it is implicit. Most probably, it was English to Japanese translation originally. Now, the objective of this module is to understand the application of four translation techniques, that is literal, that or word to word, frame transfer, frame plus unit, and the free translation. Let's see some excerpts from the story called Hana. Now, there are 4 paragraphs in total, and their final translation is given here. One is for literal translation, word to word. The next was for frame. Third is with the frame plus unit, and the last one is free translation. There could have been various ways of, if it's a research paper, then one particular sentence or one particular paragraph is translated through different techniques will give you a better understanding of what happens when you do literal translation and what happens when you use frame or frame plus unit and what happens when you do the free translation. But by doing so, we will end up, talking theoretically. Therefore, we have picked up 4 different sentences so that you have a fairly good amount of translation practice while doing this module. At the same time, just keep it in your mind that you treat the first, second, third, and fourth example independent, and keep comparing. If it was not this particular technique, that what would have been the translation. Let's go for the word to word. That is the literal translation. So this is the paragraph, and it's word to word translation. So it's quite yes. Anu, can you read the first one?
Zenchi Naigu no Hana.
Okay, Zenchi Naigu no Hana. So it's Zenchi Naigu is the name, and no Hana, that means noun, no Hana. And translation is coming as
Zenchi Naigu Kinak.
Okay, Zenchi Naigu Kinak, and this is correct, so it can go as it is, no modification is required. To Yeba, and To Yeba literal translation would be
To plus agar kahe to.
Agar kahe to kahe to. Okay, fine. There's some repetition here, so I think one to can go, and the final is agar kahe to. Yes, if you want to do word by word, you can retain. It will be Zenchi Naigu ki naak to agar kahe to. Fine, it will make sense still, but without it's too closely repeated, so one can be dropped. Ikeno Ode, and Ikeno is a place name, and you may find it difficult to understand because Ikeno may not be easily available. So you probably will have to do Google to get to this word. And De is scope, so limiting the scope. And the context says that Ikeno is a place, so it will be Ikeno me Shiranai mono wa nai. Okay, Shiranai mono wa nai.
नहीं जानने वाला आदमी and नहीं है.
Okay, नहीं जानने वाला आदमी नहीं है, and this has been translated as
नहीं जानने वाला कोई नहीं है.
कोई नहीं है. So this is not word to word exactly. I think if you want to compare, then you can see the first one is word to word. That also makes some sense, but the second one makes a better flow. This is the final translation of this sentence. Zenchi Naigu, you can just read it out.
Zenchi Naigu की नाक अगर कहें तो इकेनो ओ में नहीं जानने वाला कोई नहीं है.
And the black one is the word to word, and Zenchi Naigu की नाक अगर कहीं जाए तो इकेनो ओ में नहीं जानने वाला कोई नहीं है. We are going into the past and talking about it. Nahi hai is fine, but if you are talking in the present, then it will be kahin nahi tha. So this freedom can be taken to make it more readable. And the first sentence does make sense. That is word to word. Let's see one more example. Yeah, just read one by one.
नागासा व गो रोक्सुन आते लंबाई 5-6 सेंटीमीटर है. उवा कुची बिरु नो उहे कारा आगो नो शिता मादे सगाते इरु. ऊपर के होठों के ऊपर से ठुड्डी के नीचे तक लटकी हुई है.
Okay.
काताची व मोतोमो साकीमो. आकार, जड़ भी, अगला हिस्सा भी. ओनाजी योनी फुतोई. एक जैसा मोटा. इवा वा होसो नागाई चोजुमे नो योना मोनोगा. कहने लंबी और पतली सॉसेज की तरह की कोई वस्तु.
This is the translation which was done finally. But if we go by the core in the first second clause, sagateru, and it has to be connected to the previous sentence. Therefore, or has been added because the previous sentence was ending with ate. So this is a conjunction to be added in the third one, that is katachi mo motomo sakimo. Katachi wa motomo sakimo. So katachi is talking about the katachi, that means akar, Akar and what is there in the bracket?
May.
Akar me is translation of va and it is contextual, but in literal I would say that va is to be dropped, so you can drop me and it will be akar jad bhi and आगे क्या है?
अगला हिस्सा भी.
अगला हिस्सा भी. Okay. Onaji yoni
Futoi.
futoi. Onaji yoni futoi, if we go literally it would mean what's there in the bracket, that is
उसी तरह से.
उसी तरह से मोटा है. Okay. Then it's the beginning of there's something which is hanging, that's called hana in this case, and this hanging thing is what the thickness at the tip and the thickness at the beginning are same, is one, and it was saying the katachi wa motomo sakimo onaji yoni futoi. So the shape is thick at both the edges. Okay. Ibaba.
Ibaba hosonagai jozume no yona mono ga.
And the translation is
कहने तो लंबी और पतली सॉसेज की तरह की कोई वस्तु.
So this is the one which is coming in the final one, but Ivaba literal translation is एक प्रकार से. Okay.
And last is burari to kao no mannaka kara burasagatte iru no de aru. ऐसे ही चेहरे के बीचों बीच से लटकी हुई है.
Just read out the complete translation.
लंबाई 5-6 सेंटीमीटर है, ऊपर के ओठों के ऊपर से टुड्डी के नीचे तक लटकी हुई है. आकार जड़ भी, अगला हिस्सा भी एक जैसा मोटा. कहने तो लंबी और पतली सॉसेज की तरह की कोई वस्तु, ऐसे ही चेहरे के बीचों बीच से लटकी हुई है.
Okay, so it does make sense, it's a combined straight away, but it does make sense. If you read word to word also, but slowly, then it will make sense. And if you leave out the bracket part and read it continuously, then it will make slightly better sense. Okay, yeah, you'll have to read the comments. They are too small for me to.
First is implicit or contextual equivalents are not used in word-to-word translation. Peripheral to should not be.
Yeah, ideally it should not be, but sometimes you are confused at which word or which option you use, so and you end up using the peripheral. So I would say that core and peripheral to some extent are permissible, but the implicit and contextual should not be used in the word-to-word translation.
Next is, though there is no specific equivalent for or in the SL, preceding verb ending gives hint for conjunction, implicit.
Okay. Now, Sakimo is translated as
Agla hissa bhi.
Agla hissa bhi, and this is again implicit because Saki is tip. And in Hindi, I don't know whether it will be, my Hindi is poor, but it will be still difficult probably to look for a word which gives you the exact sense because it is coming from the context. Okay.
Va gives no hint about me, and ba in Ivaba is to, but ko remains a question mark.
Yeah, where is it coming from? That remains a question mark. Okay.
Literal meaning of Ivaba is ek prakar se and onaji yoni is usi prakar se. Word-to-word equivalents will not carry the flavor.
Ek prakar se for Ivaba is probably a better choice after when we looked into the dictionary and found that there is an equivalent which can be used for Ivaba. I think it would be better to use this. Let's see this further first. Let's use now the frame transfer. That is the second technique. Okay. There is one sentence and there are two. It has been divided into two parts. Okay. Just read up the sentence and the frame captured and the frame in Hindi.
Sentence is Soko de naigu wa sekkyoku teki ni mo shokkyoku teki ni mo kono jishonsin no something songai o kaifuku shioto kokoromita.
Okay, so it's naigu wa kokoromita, and then before that shioto kokoromita. So this is the frame. Naigu tried attempting something. What's the frame coming in Hindi?
नाइगू ने हानि को वापस पाने की कोशिश की.
कोशिश की, पाने की, वापस पाने की, नाइगू ने. Fine.
Translation is,
I can read the second frame or the second sentence first.
最後にナイグは内転外転の中に自分と同じような花のある人物を見出して、せめても幾分の心やりにしようとさえ思ったことがある。
You know, if I speak for the balance part, you will get the translation. I would like you to attempt the translation yourself. But if you see the frame catching is not so difficult. Naiguwa, and can you read the
ナイグは思ったことがある。
Naiguwa something something Shioto sai omotta koto ga aru. He probably, okay, let me give the hint. He probably tried to think that, are there other people with the same problem so that I can feel happy about it, or I can feel that I'm not an exclusive creature. So naigu ga something koto ga aru, and the translation is,
फ्रेम ट्रांसलेशन इज, नाइगू ने सोचा था, नाइगू ने एक बार सोचा था.
नाइगू ने एक बार सोचा था. Okay, and just read the comments.
Once frame is transferred, use 5W1H for transpositioning of the remaining elements.
Yeah, this is for the basics. Okay, basics. Now, after basic, there are 3 comments here. Let's read one by one.
Possible questions could be, for first sentence, कैसी हानि, किस प्रकार से वापस पाने की कोशिश की.
Okay. If you ask these questions, the answers will be more specific and the translation will become easier.
For second sentence, क्या सोचा, कैसे, किसको ढूंढकर, कहाँ कहाँ ढूंढकर.
Okay.
And नानी नानी कोतो गा आरू can be translated as एक बार और का अनुभव है, depending on the context.
This question came up because Naigu wa, for example, Tabita koto ga aru. The translation will be, if you leave out the bracket part, it will be Naigu ne khaya, या नाइगू ने खाया था. But what you want to say here that नाइगू ने एक बार खाया था. Naigu has an experience. Naigu has experienced it once. So it's better that you should know that there are other equivalents possible, and those equivalents are, yes, just read out the equivalents. One is of course एक बार.
Another one is का अनुभव है.
Something something का अनुभव है. Now these are the things which you should know, and then in the running text probably you may not need to translate it. Just saying that नाइगू ने ऐसा किया, without the bracket, नाइगू ने सोचा था, because the verb is available, omoimashita, omotta. So नाइगू ने सोचा था. So it may not be required to say it in words if you read it very carefully. Okay, the final one.
ऐसे में नाइगू ने नकारात्मक तरीके से भी सकारात्मक तरीके से भी इस स्वाभिमान की हानि को वापस पाने की कोशिश की.
Okay.
नाइगू ने बौद्धिक और दूसरे साहित्यों के अंदर अपने से मिलती जुलती नाक वाले आदमी को ढूंढकर कम से कम कुछ दिलासा देने का भी सोचा था.
The frame transfer helps in understanding the SOV relationship in source language and in rendering of the same component or same segment in the target language. Frame transfer results in well framed output, but it will be different vis-a-vis the literal translation only to that extent. It might be possible that the word-to-word translation and frame translation, frame-based translation, are not so different. This may happen. Now let's see the third category, that is the frame plus unit application. Yeah, please go ahead.
First sentence is, Tokoro ga Nisan nichi tatsu naka ni Naigu wa igai na jijitsu o hakken shita.
Okay. Now, sentence is not so difficult. Tokoro ga is left out. Now we say jijitsu o hakken shita. This is also fine. Naigu wa igai na jijitsu o. Igai na is just an adjective, so igai na can be kept out. So Naigu wa jijitsu o hakken shita. Nisan nichi tatsu uchi ni or naka ni. So there are 2-3 days passing. During that 2-3 days, he detected, Naigu detected something, and that something is calling jijitsu. So that the reality he detected. Okay. the frame?
Frame in Hindi is नायगू ने एक सच्चाई खोजी.
So Naigu wa Jitsu wo Hakishita. This is the frame in Japanese, and its English equivalent is Naigu ne ek sachai. I think ek is coming from you have added properly. It's Naigu ne sachai khoji. Okay. So frame gives the structure initially, that is limits the boundary for the translator. And the second part can you want to treat Anu says that I want to treat this as a unit, and Nisan Nichi Tatsu Nakani treat it as unit. Nisan Nichi will be different for all the cases. It could be Niyon Nichi, Niyoka, or maybe Sanyon Nichi Tatsu Nakani. But the translation for this unit would be yes.
2-3 दिन बीतने के दौरान.
2-3 दिन बीतने के दौरान. So in English it could be 3-4 दिन बीतने के दौरान और 5-6 दिन बीतने के दौरान. And the final comments are
Tatsunaka means during and can also be translated as बीतते हुए के दौरान. Therefore, the sense of बीतते हुए got merged in दौरान and as a unit translated as 2-3 दिनों के दौरान.
Okay. This is the combination of the two. Yeah, Tokuruga is conjunction and is translated as what's it translated as? Can you read?
Is conjunction
Or,
and yes.
As or. Then for unit transpositioning, question can be put as kab
और किस दौरान.
Kab or kis dauran. And the third one is that igaina is an adjective, so it has been just taken out to make the translation of the source language easier. Okay. Yeah, this is the balance part. So just read out.
それは折から用事があって池の王の寺で訪れた侍が前よりも一層おかしそうな顔をして話もろくろくせずにじろじろ内部の花ばかり眺めていたことである。
Okay, so somebody was not holding and not talking well, and then this somebody is explained in the beginning. So yeah, let's start.
Frame in Japanese is 侍が花ばかり眺めていたことである. In Hindi it would be samurai केवल नाक को देख रहा था.
Okay.
And unit is 00 नागामेते इता, एक तक देख रहा था.
Okay. The comment is in this sentence 00 goes with the verb that is nagamatita and therefore considered as a unit. Yeah, read it, continue.
हानाशी मो रोको रोको सेजुनी, बात भी ठीक से किए बिना.
Okay.
रोको रोको सेजुनी means ताश्ता कोतोमो देकिनाई सामा.
Okay. Dekinai sama means dekinai situation. Okay.
Next would be माई योरीमो इस्सो ओकाशी सोना काओ ओ शिते.
Okay.
पहले से भी ज़्यादा अजीब सा चेहरा बनाकर.
Fine. I think you want to take it as a unit, so that means you want it full as unit. Just read the Japanese again.
माई योरीमो
My Yorimo means as compared to the previous time. Okay.
इस्सो ओकाशी सोना काओ शिते.
They were in trouble earlier also. Now as compared to that, they are more in trouble. Okay. Hindi.
पहले से भी ज़्यादा अजीब सा चेहरा बनाकर.
Okay.
Comment is in this case literal translation would be same. पहले से भी ज़्यादा अजीब सा चेहरा बनाकर.
Okay. Yeah.
Another unit is सोरेवा ओरिकारा. In Hindi ठीक उसी समय. And comment is सोरेवा ओरिकारा can be treated as universal unit, which means चोदो सोनोतोकी.
Soreva Orikara will normally come like this only, and Soreva can be replaced or even dropped also at times. This is the final joint sentence. Just read out.
ठीक उसी समय किसी काम से इकेनो के मंदिर में आया एक सामुराई पहले से भी ज़्यादा अजीब सा चेहरा बनाकर बात भी ठीक से किए बिना एकटक केवल नायगू की नाक को देख रहा था.
Yeah. Okay. And here this Ikeno no Tera o Tozureta and then comes samurai. So this is actually the adjective for the samurai. And what's the next sentence?
それは折から何々用事があって。
Okay. So this is fine. Soreva orikara we have done earlier. So there was a verb, and in this case, orikara has been translated as
ठीक उसी समय.
ठीक उसी समय. You can say probably usi समय also. ठीक उसी समय is the right equivalent. Now excerpts from the same story Hana, and the translation is free translation. Now after you have done this translation in three manners, that is the first one was literal, then the frame, then frame plus unit. Now you have a good amount of understanding of the flow. This translation is just apply more than one question at the same time when the translation comes. So the question here is Naigo wa nani o shita, soshite nani ga te ni sawaru, and te ni sawaru mono wa dono yona mono datta no ka. Answer is
First answer is based on 5W1H. नायगू हड़बड़ा कर नाक को छुआ. हाथ में छूने वाली चीज कल रात की छोटी नाक नहीं है. ऊपर के ओठों के ऊपर से ठुड्डी तक 5 से 6 सेंटीमीटर लटकती हुई पहले की लंबी नाक है.
Okay, now this, because you've reached a higher level now, so at the higher level, the 5W1H is applied in your mind only. So you're applying the 5W1H, thinking of various questions, putting those questions directly on the sentence, and the sentence is not complete one. The sentence is, because there was a period in between, so one sentence is handled at a time. Okay, what you do next? Next is that some amount of fine tuning is done, keeping in mind the source language frame. This, you read the sentence again, keep the frame in your mind, and then revise the questions if need be, and then rewrite. Okay, just read out the next one.
नायगू ने अटपटाकर नाक की तरफ हाथ बढ़ाया. हाथ में जो छुआ कल रात वाली छोटी नाक नहीं है. ऊपर के ओठों से ठुड्डी तक 5-6 सेंटीमीटर लटकती हुई पहले वाली नाक है.
Slightly different than the first one. I think it will be difficult for me to say whether qualitatively this second one is a better one as compared to first one. But there is a difference because of transpositioning and difference of some additions are done, some minor changes are made. Okay. One more fine tuning, and keeping in mind this time the target language frame. That means as if you are you have the content in your mind. You have done it 2 times. Now you are rewriting, but you are rewriting in the required target language frame. And now read out.
नायगू ने अटपटाकर अपनी नाक की तरफ हाथ बढ़ाया तो हाथ को जो छुआ वह कल रात तक वाली छोटी नाक नहीं थी. यह वही 5-6 इंच लंबी ऊपर के ओठों से ठुड्डी तक लटकती पुरानी नाक थी.
While she was reading, I found that probably this toe can be dropped. नायगू ने अटपटाकर अपनी नाक की तरफ हाथ बढ़ाया, पॉज, हाथ को जो छुआ वह कल रात तक वाली छोटी नाक नहीं थी. यह वही 5-6 इंच लंबी ऊपर के होठों से ठुड्डी तक लटकती पुरानी नाक थी. Now this makes a better flow. Now this you can probably think that it's a dialogue written, it's a type of a sentence written for public or for for audience in a particular language. Just take care of that frame and put it. And if there is something to be added for making the flow better, or if there is something to be removed, that can be done. But ensure that it does not make any difference on the quality of the sentence, that means the accuracy of the sentence primarily. I want to go to the second sentence. Okay. The questions could be O nareba do naru, soshite naigu dono yona sugatao nani what?
Nanio sasayaita no ka.
Nanio sasayaita no. Okay. First attempt is again on the 5W1H basis. You are keeping the source language frame in your mind, and the questions are being answered, and the translation comes as
ऐसा होगा तो अब हंसने वाला निश्चय ही कोई नहीं है. नायगू मन के अंदर खुद से ऐसा फुसफुसाया वसंत की सुबह में नाक को छूते हुए.
Okay, now let's do some fine tuning.
ऐसा होने से अब निश्चय ही कोई नहीं हंसेगा. नायगू वसंत की सुबह में नाक को छूते हुए अपने मन में ऐसा बुदबुदाया.
Very minor changes, but the frame of the source language is kept in mind. And let's do one more fine tuning. And this fine tuning now is based upon the target language. That means you keep the target language in your mind, and the content is coming from the source language.
निसंदेह अब कोई नहीं हंसेगा। वसंत ऋतु की उस सुहानी सुबह अपनी पुरानी लंबी नाक को छूते हुए नायगू मन ही मन बुदबुदाया।
Yeah, makes a better sense definitely here. Okay. Yeah, can you read out the comments?
First is for free translation, selection of techniques may differ, which means individual choice.
Yeah, then free translation, it's expected the free translation should be done only by such people who already have a lot of experience. That means they don't need to apply 5W1H on paper. If at all it's required, they'll be applying the 5W1H in their mind. And if the frame is to be kept in the mind, so it's not done on paper, so that you have already reached a level which is sufficient enough to make you eligible to translate without mistakes. Now, this is basically an attempt to rewrite the same thing which is publish worthy. And I would suggest that don't rewrite from your mind, rewrite in a systematic manner. The systematic manner is that you do the translation either directly or through 5W1H or through frame or through combination, and then attempt the free translation. This is what it means, that it's individual choice, but this process is definitely a better mechanism. And the second comment is,
However, to reach the free translation, it is possible that a translator may have to translate a text more than once.
yeah, exactly. Okay, next. Now this is how it comes out. Now I would like Anu, you to read out the first and the fourth one. These are the we picked up 4 paras. The first one was word to word, the second is frame, third is frame plus unit, and the fourth is the free translation.
First is
Listen carefully, okay? Listen carefully to the flow, okay? Yeah, please.
ज़ेंची नायगू की नाक अगर कहे तो इके नो ओमे नहीं जानने वाला कोई नहीं है। लंबाई 5-6 सेंटीमीटर ऊपर के ओठों के ऊपर से ठुड्डी के नीचे तक लटकी हुई है। आकार जड़ भी, अगला हिस्सा भी उसी तरह से मोटा, एक प्रकार से लंबी और पतली सॉसेज की तरह की कोई वस्तु ऐसे ही चेहरे के बीचों बीच से लटकी हुई है।
Okay, not bad, but there were some words which were too blunt or which were not making connection good. Let's now see the fourth one.
नायगू ने अटपटाकर अपनी नाक की तरफ हाथ बढ़ाया तो हाथ को जो छुआ वह कल रात तक वाली छोटी नाक नहीं थी। यह वही 5-6 इंच लंबी ऊपर के ओठों से ठुड्डी तक लटकती पुरानी नाक थी। निसंदेह अब कोई नहीं हंसेगा। वसंत ऋतु की उस सुहानी सुबह अपनी पुरानी लंबी नाक को छूते हुए नायगू मन ही मन बुदबुदाया।
Yeah, I was trying to listen to the flow of the first one and the fourth one because the two are different, so it's unfair to compare the two done in different styles. But if we look at the first one, it's very clear that it's mechanical. The translation is mechanical. As compared to that, if you look at the fourth one, it's more flow, is smooth, as if it's written originally in Hindi itself, in the target language itself. Now, what can be concluded here is that the literary text should definitely be done through the free translation mechanism. The only care you have to take is that you follow the process of technique use the technique, whether it's through your mind or whether you're doing it on paper by applying the technique. Once you have got the accurate translation, now absorb this accurate translation and rewrite it, thinking about the target language. Let's sum up the learning. Translation techniques are equally applicable on literary text also. This has been proved in this module. Literal or the word-to-word translation is mostly accurate and reads well word to word. In word to word, I mean that when you read it word to word, it reads accurate. But if you read some sentence in a flow, then you may find it quite obstructing. Implicit or contextual or peripheral equivalents are avoided for the sake of no deviation. The frame transfer helps in understanding the SOV relationship in source language and in rendering of the content in the target language. It results in well framed output, but it is different vis-a-vis the literal translation, but only to that extent. Frame transfer, when combined with the unit, has the potential to render a better readability and style, the output is close to free translation. One step ahead is rewriting the content of source language, keeping in mind the frame of the target language to deliver free translation. Selection of technique or the step-by-step approach, which you have talked about, step-by-step process. That means you start with say 5W1 as a frame and then maybe combinations, and then go to the free rewriting is advisable, but it is left to the choice of the individual, because uh, individual at this level probably will find it difficult to apply these techniques, because he or she would think that he knows, he understands, so it's not helping. But still, I would say that in your mind, you should keep this idea of using the frame, putting the logical questions, and then you write the final translation in the target language. No doubt, translating literature is a humongous task and it requires huge patience, but application of these techniques are definitely helpful. These are the references for this particular module, and thank you very much for being with me in the module 31. See you again in module 32.